Hi, I'm Leslie Oliver, and this is my presentation regarding educational implications of technology for pedagogy during challenging times. The purpose of this presentation is to deliver advice and examples of effective technology to promote student engagement and learning. So this past winter and spring, we have seen a huge transition to online teaching because it became required. With a global pandemic, people were asked to socially isolate and campuses closed down and businesses closed down except for emergency personnel required to do healthcare work and other things to allow continuity of life as we know it. Online learning or learning didn't become an essential service, so it was moved online to make sure that it wasn't interrupted and that people could continue with their coursework. It was a huge transition for many, and it was a steep learning curve as well for many. Some key elements to consider when designing online coursework is primarily the demographics of the online learners. That can vary from someone who has state-of-the-art technology, new computers, reliable high-speed internet access, to those that use computer labs on campus or at public libraries. Some will even use public Wi-Fi because their home Wi-Fi is unreliable or non-existent. Most online courses are asynchronous, which means that learning is not experienced in real time. Students often don't access the learning together at the same time or have discussions in real time. Infographics are a good use of technology to deliver key information or high-level information. I've borrowed this example of a really great infographic from Fanshawe e-learning resources, and it highlights the differences between synchronous and asynchronous learning. It's predominantly pictures and text. It can be used, an infographic can be used to illustrate comparisons or flow charts. And as I mentioned, it's limited to basic high-level information. Too much detail may not be retained, or even, I believe this infographic is somewhat hard to read unless you can maximize it with or zoom in on it. Strategies to make online learning more comfortable or easier are to build online community through the use of welcome videos so that the learners can connect with the instructor, requiring learners and students to create their own introductory videos can also strengthen that or promote that building of online community. A clear outline of expectations so that learners can kind of get their bearings, set deadlines, and plan accordingly for due dates and assignment work. Also, in the case that questions do arise or confusion arises, and questions always do arrive, a regular and reliable method to address questions or contact the instructor. One thing with online learning is that there can be a feeling of isolation. But if you send a question at 11 o'clock at night and the instructor has replied by the next day, then it helps to build your confidence in the online learning environment. Flexibility, multimedia resources, and accessibility are also considerations on how to engage students and make it a more comfortable and engaging experience. So I have created a welcome video for you using Emily the Explainer and the technology Powtoon. Sorry. I find Powtoon really easy to use, fun, inexpensive, even if you exceed your time with the free trial. I chose it because I've used it before and there was another free trial offer. Doodly is also easy to use, but Doodly is like cartoon caricatures, where Powtoon uses more vibrant color and music. That could be a problem, however, if you wanted to use audio to describe the slides or read the slides if there's a student with a disability. You can't really mute the background music. The other caution I would add is that the use of cartoons probably wouldn't be appropriate for serious content. For instance, if you were creating training or a course on anti-oppression, um, uh, you wouldn't probably want to use cartoons. The virtual classroom can use software programs that can record lectures, interface with students, set up virtual face-to-face, although it's virtual face-to-face, through video meetings. Um, and it opens up a lot of flexibility with still maintaining that connectivity with the online learning environment. My preferred, I guess, programs are Zoom and Bongo for virtual classrooms, and Microsoft Teams for the use of just small group discussions. So Microsoft Teams could be used by students if they have that. Skype can also be a way to communicate, or even Zoom and Bongo if they have the ability. Some benefits of virtual classrooms using Zoom and Bongo is that you can invite guest speakers to address your class through the recorded sessions or live discussions or lectures for international students in different time zones. Is great when they're recorded, or students with accessibility issues. They can access the recorded lecture or sessions and go through them. It also offers an opportunity to share in different global experiences through the student interaction through these programs. You can also offer breakout rooms for small group discussions and then bring everybody back for a larger discussion. You can use polls if you're streaming and doing the classroom live, which is very engaging and relevant as students see the replies and how many answered which way with the poll. And it offers an opportunity for live chat and office hours. As with this presentation, it also offers the ability to record the presentations and use a shared screen, as I've been doing through Zoom. Other programs that I highly recommend are Kahoot and Padlet. We've used Padlet in this course, and I think it provides a really cool alternative to discussion posts where people can just put their I guess initial post up, and then they can comment on others, and you can see how different ideas are formed. Kahoot I like because often I will like to have a little quiz at the beginning of a lecture to see, so that students can see how much information they already know on the topic. In an ideal environment, they won't know that much until the end of the session, and then they know so much more. But it's also fun, a fun way for them to engage in a quiz. Okay, so I have created a Kahoot for a quick quiz with one question. And I've got the app on my phone so that I can participate. So the question is, who likes to have fun learning? Leslie Oliver? Is it Timothy? Is it Sandy Gowdy? Or is it all of us? I think it's all of us who like to have fun learning. I've also also created a mini Padlet on virtual learning options. And I created myself and my alter ego self. So one has indicated that I prefer Zoom. It has lots of flexibility, can use free for half an hour, can record the session, very easy to use. Whereas my alter self prefers Bongo because it's also very easy to use. You can record the session. And a benefit Bongo offers over Zoom is that Zoom can get hacked. There are security measures that you can take to avoid that by making everybody wait in the meeting room and only allowing them in, only allowing people with the password in. So there are ways around it, but there have been incidents of Zoom being hacked. So that concludes my session. I hope you've picked up a few good tips, and I thank you very much for your attention.